Okay. Hare Krishna. These are my memories of Srila Prabhupada. When I first met Srila Prabhupada, I guess I should start from the very beginning. It was a very exciting moment for me, and I joined in San Francisco. And starting from that point, when I joined, was also a very wondrous thing. I was hitchhiking from Berkeley to San Francisco with an Indian guy who was going to be in my band as a flute player. He, because I played guitar and I was singing, and so I had my guitar with me, and we stuck out our thumb because we were hitchhiking, and a guy pulled up and he said, "Hey, where are you going?" We said, "We're going to the Hare Krishna temple." And I wanted to go to the Hare Krishna temple because I had met Jayananda. He gave me some prasadam on Berkeley on Telegraph Avenue one time, and I was really happy with that prasadam, and it was delicious. And this Indian guy, it was amazing how he just wanted to take me to the temple. So he took me, and we got this ride just like almost immediately in a car, and the guy took us straight to the Hare Krishna temple. A lot with Jayananda, and I did a drawing for Srila Prabhupada, and I showed it to him the next time he came to San Francisco, and he said to me, "I want you to paint for my books, so I want you to learn how to paint." And I told Srila Prabhupada, "I don't know how to paint. I know how to draw." And at the time I really didn't know anything about oil painting. He said, "Well, Krishna will help you. Krishna will help you learn how to paint." And I said, "Okay." So Prabhupada instructed Jayananda to help me and make me a room in the garage so that I could have a studio to learn how to paint. So I got set up in the garage, and I just sat there for days in front of this canvas not knowing what to do. And finally Krishna guided me to stick some paintbrush in this gooey, oily paint and try to put it on the canvas. So I did that little by little, and for some reason I was uncontrolled. I was like almost like a zombie. I couldn't do anything myself, but my arms and my mind and everything was working. And I just slowly started painting and painting and painting till finally I painted this beautiful painting of Radha and Krishna. And later in the years I showed it to Srila Prabhupada, and he touched it to his head, and he had a tear in his eye. He said, Krishna did help you to paint. See, now you know how to paint." And he patted me on my little shaved up, freshly shaved and sandalwood oil head that I had there, and bowing to him. And I really felt like a little kid, and I was really pleased that he took the painting. And he put the painting above his bed, which was really nice, and his room in Los Angeles. So I learned how to paint. I finally learned how to paint, and I kept working and working on it. And I went to Los Angeles because Jayananda, Prabhupada, wanted his artist to go to Los Angeles and help with painting his books, and also help with the ceiling in Los Angeles. They were going to change the temple room into this bigger temple room, which is now there now. And I would be working with this German devotee named Vasudev. And so I went to Los Angeles, and I was in the Brahmachari ashram, and Prabhupada would come. He was almost there almost every day. I mean, like for weeks and weeks he'd be there. We'd go to class in the little temple room, and Prabhupada would be there giving classes, and he'd be waking some of us up with his cane, and some of us would be falling asleep, which was really offensive. And I worked and worked and did these big, huge paintings, and they were put up on the ceiling, and then I got up on a scaffolding, and I was finishing them off. And one day Prabhupada surprised me and came in with a couple of other devotees and his servant. He said, "Oh," his eyes got really big, "who has done this?" And they said, "Caruhasa, he's up there hiding on the scaffolding up there." Because I was kind of trying to stay out of the sight. I was a little bit shy about the whole thing, but when I heard that, I quickly poked my head over the scaffolding corner, and Prabhupada saw my face, and he says, "Oh yes, Caruhasa." and he was very pleased. And he was getting a massage from Shirti Kirti, and Shirti Kirti was pounding on Prabhupada's back and really giving him a hard massage. And I said to Shirti Kirti, "Don't do that. You know, it's too hard for Prabhupada." Prabhupada said, "No, this is okay." He told me, "No, this is okay. Don't worry, Caruhasa. Don't worry." And he changed this or that. And one time I was working on the Six Goswamis and painting that, and Prabhupada said to me, "Make their cloth more dirty. Make it more dirty. It must be much more dirty and stained." Because I had it like white, pure white cloth they had on. He said, "No, they wash their dhotis and everything in the Yamuna, and mud would get on them. So they weren't all clean like that." So that was one instruction Prabhupada gave me. And then I did an animated film because I'd written Prabhupada many letters, even when I was in San Francisco, about making a Hare Krishna film, a film about Krishna. And I knew that if I made this film about Krishna, that it would spread Krishna consciousness. But at the time, Prabhupada sent me many letters stating, "No, don't worry about it, just do your service." And finally I said, "I've got to show Srila Prabhupada this movie I made." I made a movie of Nrsingadev, where Nrsingadev tears apart Hiranyakasipu. He pulls out all his intestines, and it's really graphic. And so anyway, I did this film with the help of Prajapati, who was one of the actors. He did sort of the live action part, and I sort of superimposed it in with my animation, which was sort of like puppet animation, like Ray Harryhausen does. He was the producer of Jason the Argonauts, Clash of the Titans, those films. Surprised, I walked up the stairs to kind of get a listen in on what was going on in the room, and suddenly I hear Srila Prabhupada say, "Caruhasa, you can come in now." And I was in shock. I couldn't believe that Prabhupada knew I was in there. I went in to his door, and there wasn't anywhere to sit on the floor. And I was thinking, where am I going to sit to talk to Srila Prabhupada about this making movies about Krishna? And Prabhupada said, "You can sit here. Come, Caruhasa, sit over here." And I sat right on his cushion with him, like almost right directly next to him. And Prabhupada was so merciful, and he was smiling and everything. I just felt like he was my dad, and he was going to put his arm around me at any moment. It was a wonderful feeling. And I set up the projector on the floor there near the pillow, and I used the white wall as a screen. And the first movie I showed Prabhupada was a little excerpt from King Kong, which he said that he'd seen when he was a child, and he wanted me to explain how they did the special effects, so I did that. And then I showed him The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. This was a Ray Harryhausen film, and he liked that, which has the cyclops and creatures and everything moving in it, and the live actors.